Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the CE Class channel. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so we've got the panel off. You can find a table or on the floor or wherever you want screws that are located right here. This is something I am going to armrest that and start the process of getting the armrest off, which is pretty simple. We got one screw. And they're all about that silver metal color. Two screws. And the last one. Three screws. All three screws are out now. Okay, so you got the switches for the window lock. Obviously, it's your control switches right here for the door. We want to do is take this out. So we're going to take this part out, flipping it around for you to see that they are latched in. As you can see, this is the little electrical box for those controls. And basically what we want to do is try to take this out, like so. So now we can get down to this part of the door. Okay, so next we have the armrest that we want to we're putting the covering on. And basically it's pretty simple. You go from the bottom, you can manually do it. Just pop it right out. You can see where it sits. Just pop it right out. And there you are. It's off. Okay, now we've got the piece off. As you can see, a little wear and tear. Not the greatest material from the manufacturer. At this point, what we want to do, you just take your hand, or if you got some other way to take it off, you can. But you just want to start peeling off the old covering. And try to keep the padding on. I'm a fan of keeping it on. There's nothing wrong with the padding. It's gotten a little dirty since it was exposed a little. But other than that, it's still good solid padding. We've got the armrest out, and we've got it pretty much peeled off. You can try to peel every little inch of it off, or just a good majority of it off. Again, not a bad pad, so here we go. You can get these. This is the actual cover that you can get a replacement for on Amazon or somewhere else online. I guess you got one of the Amazon listings for this and got it. Now, granted, this is not the manufacturer's cover for the vehicle. This is obviously a aftermarket covering, which means that it's going to be a little off. Unless you've got real leather or leather upholstery like an EXL or touring version of the Pilot. Mine is an EX, and so the EX doesn't have this type of material. However, I have already replaced the other side, which wasn't completely as bad as the driver's side, so at least there'll be some consistency in the front part of the vehicle. But if you're meticulous about the look of the finished cover, then you can find synthetic leather. Maybe it'll give you a little bit less of a more real leather. This is actually real leather here that you can put on. And so it already comes pre-stitched. All you have to do is pretty much, we're going to use glue. Some people use a spray adhesive like 3M. This is also good. The Barge all-purpose cement is good for this type of stuff. And so you just need like a brush, which I've already used for the other one that's got a little stiff because I forgot to put it in water. But basically you can take this stuff and kind of glide it along the under portion of the cover. And it's nothing on here right now, but once I do, I'll squeeze this out and put it on there. So as you're trying to fit this for the actual padded armrest, is you're going to try to get it to a place where it's going to look somewhat similar to what you had before. You're going to flip it over, and you're going to get, I've got 17 clips here. You may not use all 17. You may use more than 17. Depends on how you actually try to secure it. But basically what I do is I just try to take everything, fold it down, see how it looks, kind of play with it a little bit to see if, that's where you want it. Because once the glue is on, it's going to be really hard to do it. So that's why the clips are going to be important to do. And I picked these up at Home Depot. They were like 40-something cents a piece. So you can get that as well. And then basically what you want to do is start putting the brush along here, get all of the areas even underneath where the actual pad is, to try to make sure that this stays down over time so that it doesn't lift up. Okay, I'm going ahead and glued this side down. As you can see, I got the clamps on here. They're kind of holding it down until it can dry. This stuff says 15-20 minutes. That's kind of what I'm keeping it on there for, to make sure it's held down good. And so I'm going to continue this pattern all the way around until I get it all fastened down. You can actually start lifting up these tabs once one side dries and start on the other side, or however you want to do it, to kind of, you buy enough clips you can do all of it and just let it stay clamped down. I didn't buy that many clips, so I'm doing it in sides. So this side and this side, then it'll be down. You can remove the clips. You should be ready to reinstall at that point. So we have the armrest that we've replaced already with the leather, placed the armrest cover with, and so you want to put it back on. And so what you want to do is you want to put the armrest back where you took it off at, and on the back, as you will see down here, there were some areas where the screws were, and basically you're clamping it back into locking it back into that place with those screws. Okay, so you've got to put your screws back in where you unscrewed them the first time to remove it. And I'm just sticking this one in here because I've already put the other ones in place. And you're going to tighten all 3 screws back, holding down. You want to hold down the actual armrest so that you can get the best and tightest grip. Okay, so we've got the other clamps back in, so now we're just going to clamp this back into place. And it sits right back in, and you're going to get your controls right into place. Okay, now that we've got this part back on with the controls for the door panel, now we're ready to reinstall to the actual door itself. Okay, so now we've got the panel back, and the panel is going to be put back on the door, so you'll have all your cables and wires and clamps to put back on. Okay, after you reconnect your wires and cables back, then you're going to simply go ahead and just tap around the edges for the clips to go back in. You're going to put your 2 screws in here, one there, and then you're going to put this piece on here. We hope you subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in.